Hello, and welcome to the Co-OpCast. I'm Sawyer, your host with the Baron 76 and Carter CDC.
72.
Oh, 72. Always fits.
76 was my number before I changed it.
Maybe that's why I'm messing that up. So before we talk about our weeks and whatnot, Carter, you got some stuff to say? Announcements?
Yeah, I got some announcements. Well, thank you guys for 20 subscribers. We're about a week in now. And yeah, we have 20 subscribers. Hopefully, we'll look back on this day and just appreciate that we only had 20, and hopefully we'll get more in the future. But yeah, thank you to those 20 people that subscribed to our YouTube channel and anyone else who's listening to any other platforms. We really appreciate you guys. Another thing, I would like to just announce all the platforms that we have so far for your listening pleasures. So in current time right now, you guys can listen to our show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public, and YouTube as well. So I think that's really good so far. That really helps us to get our channel out there and get you guys to listen. And yeah, the last announcement we have is to join the Discord. We'd love for you guys to join the Discord here, and we'd love to get to know you guys more and just interact with you. That's the way that we can really get to know you guys and even have guests later on. We'd love to start having some guest episodes. We're excited for that, for sure.
Yeah, if you want to be a guest, just go to the Discord, and there's a sheet there, a form there to fill out and things to be able to like tell us that you're interested. Because if you're a stranger to us or anything like that, like we'd love to hear your input and stuff like that. So
exactly. If you guys think you have something unique you want to talk about with us, we'd love any sign up from any of you guys. We'll put the link in the description, and it's also on our Discord as well. And it's just called the guest interview form.
Yep. That's it. So how's everyone's week this week? What you guys been doing? What you guys been playing? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Just been chilling, really, just college, the normal life. I'm just going to classes, and then afterwards at night I'm able to play a little games here and there, but that's just the daily grind. Is wake up, go to class, get bored, go play video games.
Yeah.
Constant,
Hang out with the
College
wife.
life.
constant cycle, man.
Yeah. So that's all you can really do with COVID nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Like me and my wife today just watched the third Harry Potter. Like we said last time, we watched the second one like 3 days before the last recording, but today I watched the third one. So
How was that one? Did you want to leave like last time?
nah, I think the movies get better after the second one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then the fifth or sixth one, I can't remember which. The fifth or sixth one, I just absolutely hate. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. My week was good. We're in the process of moving, actually, so we've been really busy. Just day in, day out, going to the house, painting, taping, moving things. All you can think of. We're just constantly working on this house, and we're almost there, so we're really excited. Definitely next week's episode, we'll be moved in, and we'll be recording from a new house, new room, so really excited for that.
New internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have fiber right here, but in our new house, we don't have fiber, but there are plans for them to put it there. So
Nice.
as long as they're in the works of installing it, I'm fine.
Nice.
But yeah, I've just been playing Call of Duty whenever I can, like half an hour a day. But yeah, just really busy with the house.
Your first prestige in a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, one more level and I prestige.
Oh wow.
Never prestige before.
Savage.
How about you, Sawyer? What's up?
Man, I'm just working, and then come home. I hang with the wife, and been playing Apex mainly with some
Nice,
COD,
nice.
a little bit there.
You still loving the Series X?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got a new TV for it, and it complements it well. So
Oh, that's
with the
good.
combination, it does well.
Nice.
Yep.
What kind of TV is it?
It's Samsung QLED, so it's
Gotcha.
pretty good. It's not the best, but it's good for the money.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I actually have the exact same TV you have.
What's funny is I just now that you say TV, me and my wife bought a TV this week too, but it was Black Friday sale.
Oh, beautiful.
Cheap TV. So I think it's an Element. I don't know.
Walmart.
It's just an upgrade from Target.
Oh, Target.
Yeah, nowadays, I mean, you can go wrong, but really, you can't really go wrong with TVs. Every TV's like smart TV now, and I mean, if you want a really good TV, you can't find them. But
Oh, for my wife,
Yeah.
she needed. We had to have the Roku on it.
the Roku,
Yeah, Roku's like an application system, so
Yeah.
all you have to do is press Netflix or press Hulu and stuff. You don't have to go through anything. It's just there on your front screen.
okay,
It's kind of like your phone.
Simplified.
It's kind of like your phone where your apps are just all right there,
okay,
right as you open it.
nice.
It's kind of cool.
What's funny to me about this TV is since I've gotten it, I thought doing split screen with my wife would be a lot better, which is why I got a bigger. It's 75-inch, but it's
Yeah.
crazy how you just adjust to what you have, and I hate it, even though it's huge. It reminds me of back.
It just seems small.
Yeah, it reminds me of back in the day. We'd have the tiny little TV, and we'd play 4 split screen Call of Duty, and we all
Yeah,
enjoyed it. We had no problems with it. But then I do a 2-player split screen on this TV, and I can't do it.
Have you guys ever seen that video with the cardboard in the middle? So then it's 2 different screens because
Yeah.
they cardboarded out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
You need to try that.
no screen peeking. Yeah, like 30-inch TV, man. You could do floor player split screen, and it's like perfect.
Dude,
And now I
Mario
have
Kart
75-inch
days.
TV. You can't even do half of it.
Mhm.
Well, that and it cuts the FPS down too, right? The frames.
It does.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for
Yep.
me that I noticed.
I didn't know that was a thing until last week. I was playing. I was like, the FPS is way worse on
Yeah.
double.
The FPS
Right.
didn't matter back in the day.
Yeah.
We could probably run on 12 FPS and you wouldn't even notice. That's a perfect segue for what we're talking about today. If you guys just want to start
Exactly.
heading that way.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to talk about nostalgic gaming. We're going to talk about games that we've loved in the past, games, that we have good memories of, the golden age in our life. When we first got into gaming, and we're going to talk about all of that.
Yeah. Kind of continuation of last week. Kind of what going back in our lives.
Yeah, so I think we'll talk about some games that are really close to our hearts. And if any of you guys want to start with the game that you guys can think of, we'll just jump right into it.
Well, I want to ask, what's all of our if you can think back to your favorite game from a childhood, it brings back the best memories. What is it?
Ocarina of Time. Easily. Beating
I
the
would
game.
agree too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time. I have a lot of memories of that. That and Mario Kart 64. I used to play that with my dad when I was 5.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reason why Ocarina of Time is so prominent in my mind, Zelda is prominent in my mind, is because I remember watching my brothers play it, my older brothers play it for hours on end before I even got to touch the controller because it's a 1-player game. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably 3 years of watching them before I even played the game because I was considered too young. So. But when I finally got that controller in my hand and I was operating Link, man, it was the greatest feeling in the world. Never got past the 3rd temple until 2 years after that.
Yeah.
So hard.
I just have memories of playing Zelda Ocarina of Time. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's just one of the first 3D RPG role-playing games on the Nintendo 64, and I think it came out 1999 or something.
I think it was 96. It might have been 90. Oh, whatever, sometime in there.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the first games I played, and it's kind of a crazy game to be one of your first games for such a young age. And I even have memories of I couldn't get past the zombies in the Hyrule town.
Oh yeah.
So when you become an adult, the world basically ends, and all the civilians are like zombies now. And you have to run past them to get through to the next to get out of the city. And I would have to make my sister do it for me because I'd be too scared. She'd have to take it and just run past them for me because I couldn't even take it. I couldn't even be in the room.
Well, the biggest thing was that they freaking screamed, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was bone chilling.
Yeah.
Bring me back to my elementary school days at Carter's basement playing Shrek Super Slam.
Oh man.
Just kidding.
Shrek
I forgot
Super
about that
Slam.
game.
I'm kidding, but that was a fun game.
Okay, good. I was like, no way, that's
No,
your
I'm
most
kidding.
nostalgic game.
Man.
Ah.
Shrek Super Slam.
So actually,
It's like Super Smash Bros, but
Yeah.
with Shrek
so
characters.
better. No, I'm just kidding. So actually, now you say that, my favorite is Super Smash. Mainly because as a kid, so the 64 Super Smash Bros. And GameCube, sure. We'd always play it at my grandmother's house. So like we'd always go there for some kind of special occasion, and then there'd be like 60 of us cousins there, and she downstairs she had like a little special room for us kids to play ping pong, and there's a TV with a 64, and so it kind of made it special. Like Christmas Eve, holidays, whatever. Whenever we'd go over there, we'd all go downstairs. I was really young, but we'd all gather around the little screen and play Smash Brothers. So like when I think of
Yeah.
retro gaming, my childhood, it's playing Smash with my cousins at my grandmother's. Even though I sucked because I was probably like 7, whatever it is. But on that topic, but my favorite game of all time, Halo Reach. It kind of works with nostalgic because I was in like high school,
Yeah.
and that is my favorite game of all time. So those two together are kind of mold
Well,
the nostalgic game.
I think you were more in like middle school.
You were in high school?
No, I was
in
middle
middle school.
No, you're
You
right.
were like
You're right.
in fifth grade.
Yeah, you're right. Middle school.
Yeah.
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 Jeez, that was middle school.
So-
That's crazy.
Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows, Sawyer's a couple years younger than me and Carter.
Yeah.
But like,
And more saucy.
yeah, just more saucy for sure.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, I think Halo Reach would definitely go into the nostalgic range because, like, I always find myself like I have Combat Evolved, and the only game I have on there is Reach, and that's just because like how much good times we had together
hmm
playing that game. So I'd definitely
Yeah.
throw that into nostalgic area.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably the first game I played with you, Colin. Like that was our first.
Yeah.
Because it
Guaranteed.
was you, me, Colin. It was you, me, Peyton,
Yeah.
Carter, and then some other people every once in a while. But
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
remember when we'd get together, we'd hardly lose a game, and I was just like, "This is the dream team."
Yeah. We were always calling ourselves the dream team. Well, for me, I think that my nostalgic game would be Club Penguin. Club Penguin was my game. The first time I ever saw it, I was sleeping over at my cousin's house, one of my other cousins. I woke up super early. Well, for me, super early was probably like 7 or 8 at the time. And I walked into the office, and one of my cousins was on the computer, and I remember seeing the coffee shop of Club Penguin on the screen. And I was like, what is that? She started showing me Club Penguin. And Club Penguin is this game. You guys should just Google it if you don't know what it is. If you don't know what it is, please look it up.
It is
It's
a great
just
piece of
this
history.
little, I don't know, how do you explain it, Colin? What's Club
It's like
Penguin?
it's a point and click social game. Like that's
It's just
it.
a social game. You play
It's-
little
it's made
games, you earn
for
coins,
fans.
you spend your coins. You're a penguin, so you spend your coins on your igloo, which is your home, and you can put little furniture in it. You can buy little pets and talk to other people at the same time.
Puffins, bro, puffins.
Yeah, man. That was a good time.
Remember when we were like 12 when we were playing that, or maybe even younger, and we like had like so many ideas of what colors of puffins they should do and what they should do with it, and
They're
we
called
sent it in.
puffles, not
Puffles?
puffins. Puffins is a bird.
yeah,
Puffles.
Puffles. But like, remember when we had like so many different like ideas about it, and we typed it all out and we sent it in.
Me and my sister
Did you
and
really?
we would have all these ideas, and
Yeah.
we would send them
Wow.
into the forums, like to the developers, and they would get back to us, and they're like, "That's a really good idea.
Okay.
We'll implement that in. We'll try to get that in." And like 3 to 6 months later, we'd see it in the game. Like this was way early in the
Yeah.
time that when they were making Club Penguin. We
Trailblazers.
mentioned that there should be a like little fuzzy pets you can get, and like a carnival that comes every year. and I can't think of everything because it's been like freaking
I just
10
remember the
years.
one we made together was just different colors and like
Yeah.
what they should be able to do.
Yeah.
Should we
And
go
like
over?
I'm sure we're not like the only people that ever thought of that idea, but it's pretty cool to get like a response and they're like, yeah, that's awesome. We'll talk about it and see if we can put it in.
That was probably my first game, like that I had my own like username in.
We didn't have emails yet. We had to use one of our relatives' emails to put it in
Should I
to
tell
make an
that whole
account.
story?
Sure.
Yeah, like Carter said, we didn't have emails, and my cousin, his name is Danny, and I was like asking around at grandma's house one Sunday because we'd go to grandma's house as cousins and stuff on Sundays. And I was asking around, like, can I get your email? Because I need to make this Club Penguin that Carter just showed me. Like, I need to make this account so we can play together. Because Carter was the one that introduced me to it. And nobody would give it to me because they're like, oh, I don't want, like, spam mail from
Yeah.
this stupid game. And Danny finally was like, I'll give you mine. And I was like, okay. And he entered it all in. And then it came down to, like, what do you want your name to be? And, like, we couldn't think of one for, like, 10 minutes. I was like, I'm going to name it Danny9000 in tribute of Danny for giving me his email.
So our whole lives, we've always like, whenever we talk about it, whenever Club Penguin is brought up, we always say, Danny 9000, yeah. Man, in elementary school at recess, I would even have memories of me and my friends like pretending that we're playing the mini games that you can do in Club Penguin. Like there's a mini game where you can slide your penguin left and right to like grab coffee bags that they're throwing out of a
It's the
truck,
best.
and you stack them up, and we would pretend that we're playing it at recess. Like, I definitely Club Penguin is my nostalgic
Yep.
golden game by far.
Colin, when you said first game that you had a username, I think mine was actually Spore. Spore was
Spore. I
classic.
forgot about that game.
Yeah, I forgot that game too until you said that. I was like, what was mine? I was like, probably Spore. I was
Yeah.
so young,
What was
but
And
Spore is
back
yeah.
then, just concepts were so cool. Different
What
games like
was-
Spore.
What was your gamer tag though? What was your name on it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
One of my first gamer tags for what's that? RuneScape was Red Joker because I was into the Joker, Heath Ledger.
You made your guy look like the Joker.
Yeah. And Joker was taken,
I
so it was
remember
like
that.
Red Joker. That was fun.
RuneScape is another one, man.
Can we
I
really
think
call
we
that
all had that
nostalgic though?
experience.
Because we still go into it once in a while, me and you, Carter.
Well, that's kind of one of the questions that I had for us
Yeah.
today.
Hit it.
I wanted to ask you guys like how's your experience with different nostalgic games and going back to them? Do you have good experiences with it and maybe some bad experiences with it? And maybe we could start with RuneScape, Colin. I think that's something you can talk about with us.
Gotcha. Well, I guess with the good and bad experiences, like I think when I play a nostalgic game, like let's just go back to Ocarina of Time for me. The bad experiences to me are still even good. Like the
Yeah.
one temple I hate in that game is the water temple, and there's been plenty of times where I just stopped playing at the water temple. But like when I finally finish that temple, it always still feels so good. Like
It's definitely an accomplishment, even nowadays.
like even RuneScape, like we were talking about RuneScape, like when you level up on the game, you just feel good. Like it's the dopamine release in your brain that's just like, yeah, I did that. Like I don't know. Like I feel like that's the good thing about nostalgic games because even though you remember you getting frustrated when you were younger,
Yeah.
and beating it then, like now you beating it still feels good. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So RuneScape is like Club Penguin that we talked about. It's kind of a social point and click game where you run wherever you click, but it's more medieval and you're not penguins. You level up different skills like your combat and for like cooking and mining and stuff, and there's quests. And so that was another game that we played a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten back into it recently and it's been really fun. And I think there's a lot of good things with it because when we played it back in the day, we didn't play it like we do now.
Yeah, we didn't not know what to do at all.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh, I actually know what to do a little bit.
And the nostalgia's still there. That's the good thing. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. For me,
What about you? Sorry.
think about it. I'm pretty I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I have a hard time with bad graphics in video games. Like I'm always wanting new with things. So like in the few times where I'm able to, like, we have a old Nintendo console and I play it with my cousins or whatnot, it's always like Colin said, like a quick dopamine hit. It was like, this is exciting. This is how it was back as a kid. I'm feeling like I'm a kid again, but it always leaves fast. Because
Yep.
I get bored. And I've already played it, and the graphics, like like the Halo Master Chief Collection, I love it. It's fun to go back to it. But since it's Halo 5 out with good graphics, it's smooth. I have a hard time playing Halo Reach, even though I love it when when I start it a little bit, it feels good, it's exciting. Just I'm kind of I like current. I like to be current. I like to have the new stuff, and that makes it hard for me. But just to
Yeah.
get back into it for a little bit, it feels good. I feel like a kid.
Like you're saying, like when I play Zelda now, like if I ever pick it up, it's always like a challenge for me to how fast I can beat it, because it's like I don't want to spend 3 weeks playing this game.
Yeah.
I want to spend it like 3 days. Like
Yeah. In my mind right now, even like when Star Fox Adventures came out on the GameCube, I thought it was the best looking video game that existed. And I haven't seen what it looks like since then. And in my mind right now, it seems really good looking.
Oh
But
yeah.
if I look it up and watch the gameplay, or if I went to go back and play it, it's probably like ridiculous how bad it looks. But that's the thing too. Like I visit old games and I play it for like 5 minutes, and I just appreciate the time that I spent on it back when I was a kid.
Yep.
And I just I don't really like spending a lot of time on it. I just like to visit it for like 5 minutes and just appreciate the memories I had with it and just move on.
Mhm.
true.
But yeah, when I saw you guys playing that, Sawyer, the Star Fox Adventures, I'm like, this is a whole new thing
Yeah.
from
That's
Mario,
actually
Super Mario
that's
World.
on my list when we talked about doing nostalgia gaming. That's number 5 on my list.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
Star Fox. Such a good
with the
game.
dinosaurs.
Such a good game, man. So,
For sure.
like, what made gaming so special for us as kids? I feel like I'm able to have experiences now that are similar, but there's something magical about it as children. What was it?
I think what made it so magical is that it's a literal new world that we were introduced to that we didn't understand, didn't know, and it was interesting. Like it was different than what our daily lives and stuff like that. And it was so magical when you got into it. It was so just amazing when you got into it. And now I think the reason why it's different is because we're older and we know it's not real. Like when we were younger, it's like, dude, imagine if this was real. Like, and then
We were
we
always
go,
talking about, man, what if Pokemon were real?
yeah, and we'd go play it. Like we'd go outside and like throw. We used to have little Pokeball toys, and we'd throw the Pokeball and act like we had Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
it felt more realistic.
Yeah. Having
when we were
Pokemon cards in your pocket felt like you had real Pokemon with you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I think that's why it was so magical when we were younger.
Yeah.
Now, when you play a game, sometimes you're just like, this is dumb because like it's so unrealistic. But like, we need to remember that like that's part of the point.
That's why we're doing it.
To be realistic, yeah.
Yeah. Well, to add on to what you're saying, I have a 1-year-old son, and he's just been walking so much lately. And, just like you were saying, that's how we explore. Just the way that I watch him explore, if a door opens, he immediately goes towards that room that's now available to him. And like us when we were kids, when a video game is out that we have access to, it's just like a whole new experience that we can have that we want to just dive right into. And it's just a really fun thing to do at such a young age. Especially, I really appreciate the time that we are in when we were kids with the Nintendo 64 and like the GameCube era. Because kids nowadays that are young with the Xbox Series X, I don't know. Do you think it's different? Do you think it'll be as drastic 20 years from now as the 64 it was to the Series X now? Like sort of graphical change?
I think we need to remember too, though, is that there are games for younger kids nowadays that are going to be nostalgic to them.
Exactly, like Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite, but like, goodness, I can't even think of young kid games right now. I guess I'll throw Stardew Valley out there. Like, if you introduce your kid to that, like, that'll be a nostalgic game for them in the future. Like, because like when I think of gaming now, I think of shooters, and that's the only thing I can really think of that are like hardcore adventure games. And it's just that I don't look at the other side of gaming right now, so I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes me, as I look back on my childhood gaming, I've noticed the older I get, the more I turn away from fantasy open world games, and the more I turn into multiplayer competitive games. And it kind of makes me want to be a kid again. It makes me want to have that child, like you're saying with Dustin, how your son, he just wants to go see, he wants to learn, he wants to experience new things. And man, it makes me want to be a
Yeah.
kid, like have that same mentality I had as a kid, where I want to experience it, I want to fall into a world. But now, with gaming now, it's kind of more for me. It's more of like I want to get my skill better. I want to talk with my
Yeah.
friends. I want to get better at Halo, Apex, whatever I'm playing. And it
Yeah.
makes me miss it a lot. Like just to
Yeah.
fall into, like I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It looks great. It plays great. It's just a great game, But I just have a hard time staying into it and falling into it like I did as a kid. It makes me sad. It
Yeah.
makes me sad, man.
Hard to get your mind blown
Yeah.
as much nowadays than it was when you were a kid.
hmm
Like playing Donkey Kong with the bongos was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
The clapping,
I love that
man,
crap.
and Guitar Hero, getting your guitar controller
hmm
and playing that for the first time, mind blowing.
Dude, I feel like I could play Guitar Hero now though, like
Yeah,
for hours.
I could too.
Like,
Yeah,
It's good.
but like the first discovery of it, like that was
Okay,
really
I have a
fun.
sad story about Donkey Kong. I was in elementary school, and I knew that because we bought it online. It was like, if I remember, it was one of the first few things we bought online. And my mom found out it was going to be arrive that day, so I pretended to be sick, and I stayed home. And it never came all day, and I was flipping mad that I pretended. I mean, I just wanted it, and then it turns out it was in the mailbox. It was in the mailbox all day. My mom never
Oh
checked
man.
her email, so I was sitting home, probably right before school got over, and it was just sitting there all day because I had to pretend to be sick and lay on my couch, and I couldn't get up to go check.
So if you're pretending to be sick, that's a bad reason to play with bongos because you have to clap your hands and
Dude,
smash the bongos with your
I was
hands.
like 6, man.
At least,
yeah, but right as you like get it in your house and you see it, you perk up and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel better now.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
better. Man, I remember playing that. My hands would hurt after I was done. I'd slap so hard. So you slap, and there's a microphone on the bongo controller. You tap the right bongo to go forward, you tap the left bongo to go left, and you tap both of them to jump, and you clap to attack. So you're constantly smacking the right and the left and clapping, and it's a workout, but it's fun.
I got a question for you guys.
Hit me.
How long do you think it takes for a game to become nostalgic?
Oof. That's a good question.
Because like that's the hard differential for me is like because like I have talked about Stardew Valley a couple times. I feel like that's going to be a nostalgic game for me when I'm like 50. But like is it because I'm an adult now that means that it won't be a nostalgic game and it doesn't have that kid factor to it? I don't know.
Well, the first thing that came up in my head is not exactly a time factor, but like a technological advance factor, I think. Like to kind of put it in perspective, when will VR be nostalgic? You know, when the first VR came out and there's those games that were the first generation of VR, virtual reality. When will VR enhance enough to where the first VR games are nostalgic? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of our nostalgic games are games that are just less advanced than they are now. Halo Reach isn't that old. It's still pretty old. But I feel like comparing it to Halo 5 and comparing it to shooters nowadays, I think it brings a nostalgic factor just because of how more basic it was and how, the memories that we make with it as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if it's because we were kids at the time. Is it because we were kids that made it so that's nostalgic, or is it because there's like that advancement? Like I don't know.
Well, there's still nostalgia games for me, even since I've been an adult. Like Counter-Strike is nostalgic to me because I've stopped playing it and I've had a lot of good memories of it. And when I go back, I feel pretty nostalgic playing it, even though I've just played it a little bit ago. I just have a lot of memories with it. I think memories of just because when you think of nostalgia games, you think of the memories that you've had in the past playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a lot of factors that go into play when you're thinking of it in that way.
The definition of nostalgic is feeling yearning, pining for the past, longing for it. So yeah, I think what Carter said, if you had a emotional experience with it that you have held on to, that you're
Yeah.
gonna when you've stopped playing it for, but I guess it goes back to you, when does that time period hit you of like, that was good. I haven't played it for a while, but
Because I was really into it, Counter-Strike, just 2 years, 3 years ago. I still play it every now and then, but not as much. And I think just that emotional connection I have with it makes it nostalgic, even though it's still a fresh game to me.
yeah. But I guess even with games I haven't played, Pokemon X and Y, when that one came out, um, me and Peyton, me and my two brothers, we went to the midnight release of it. They both got it because they both had DSs. I didn't, but I was just there for the ride. And when I see an X and Y Pokemon poster or something, it brings back those memories. And to me, it feels like a nostalgic game, even though I didn't have it. Like I
Yeah,
just sat behind their
right.
backs and watched them play it.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's crazy how big of an impact gaming had for our lives. Like so many of my good experiences, just seeing them get the game and like watching them play it on their little DS brings back such good
yeah.
memories, happiness. I love it.
Just watching people play it when you're a kid
Yeah.
just has those memories. Like I remember watching my older cousins play Super Mario World. Is it on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would remember being in my basement and my parents would call me to run upstairs and they would brush my teeth for me because I was so young. I was like 4 or 3. I don't remember. I was super young. But I have that memory in my brain of running upstairs, trying to get my parents to brush my teeth super fast so I could run back down to keep watching them play Super Mario World, like back in 1999 or whatever.
That that reminded me of Donkey Kong. Like, do you remember Donkey Kong 64? Did you guys ever get
Yeah,
into that?
with the
Yeah.
yellow cartridge.
Yeah. And like how they had like split screen where you could like fight each other with the weapons in the game, like the little coconut shooter
Oh,
and peanut shooter and
I love
stuff.
that.
Yeah. My brother's playing that, and like now thinking back on it, is that really the first like first person shooter? Like
Yeah, I don't remember the Donkey Kong shooter, but I remember the Banjo Kazooie split screen shooter where you shoot your bird,
that might be
shoot
it.
eggs.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
remember one of those. I was really, really little, so
yeah,
like I can remember sitting in our first house that I lived in when I was younger.
yeah,
Because we've moved a few times, but the first house,
yeah.
and then we had the big like box TV that was only like 20 inches. Like, yeah.
I think another thing that makes games more nostalgic to us when we were younger is how scared. I don't know about you guys, but I would get scared so much easier as a kid,
Hmm.
and just that having that. I don't know. It's so new to us.
Hmm.
Like the one thing I can think of is watching my cousins play Zelda Majora's Mask and the scene when like aliens abduct the cows and they're like taking over the farm. You remember that?
Hmm.
There's these aliens that come and it make the creepiest noise, and I just couldn't take it. I was probably just a wimp, but just having those memories, like you said earlier, Colin. Just it's not like, oh, I want to get better at this game. It's more like I want to discover
Yeah.
this thing called video games.
Well, can you have like a negative nostalgic? Because like I never want to go back and play that game because
Majora's Mask.
I don't know. Me and Carter beat the Majora's Mask when we were in high school. My senior year, um, in between football practices on 2 days, and I remember like some of the like pathways that you had to go were just ridiculous. Like I don't know. It made the
Yeah,
game like unnecessarily hard to me.
I'm really glad we beat it though.
Yeah.
But we had to use a walkthrough every step of the way.
Like I I'm glad we beat it, but like I'm also like I'm never gonna play that game again.
Yeah.
It brings back good memories of going over to your house and playing it. Like,
Yeah, we have a lot of memories of us three kind of working our way around the same game at the time. You know, whatever's hot at that year. Like Super Smash Bros. You weren't around at the time, Colin, but we would have Smash Bros. Tournaments after high school, after school, you know, and we'd even have like bracket, and we'd have like pizza rolls in the oven. It was a good time. We'd have like 12 people.
That's what gaming's all about, right there.
Sorry, you and I and some family just played with the Wii U with Nintendo Land.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite couch
Yep.
games.
Party games.
Code Chase or whatever.
Yeah, Mario Chase.
Mario Chase, Luigi's Mansion 1, Animal Crossing.
Hmm. But here, I don't know.
Just those little competitive mini games. Really fun.
It's like I'm obviously grateful for the internet, but I feel like the moments that are still special to me, they'll never be topped. My internet experience with playing with friends and whatnot, they'll never be topped by my experiences playing with people on the couch together. Like it reminds me of 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Me, my two brothers, my brother-in-law, we were playing Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, and we played it 7 hours all day. We played it for 7 hours straight. And like thinking back to that, that was a real experience. That was real fun. But it was so hard. We had to get two TVs, LAN link them together. It took so much effort. And it's getting even worse now. Like I can't even play Call of Duty Cold War Zombies split screen. It doesn't let me for some reason on my own.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like I want both. Maybe I'm too needy or something. But like for Christmas, right? All my family's gonna come, and I want to play video games, but that option's gone.
Wait.
You know?
Cold War Zombies isn't split screen?
Nope.
That is dumb because I remember going over to a couple of my buddies' house that were in my grade, and that's all we did for like 5 hours is play zombies on his one TV, all four of
Yeah.
us.
Okay, I'm gonna go on right now, and I'm gonna check it to see if they updated it. But I checked last week, and me and Stacy could not play zombies together. But we can play multiplayer split screen, but not zombies.
Yeah, but they're just asking you to buy another Xbox so you could do that.
I know.
With Xbox Live and with all this stuff.
Hate that.
It's just you know, like you said, family comes over for holidays and it just ends up being one person playing and everyone watching, and that's not really the best thing to do at the time. Yeah. You wanna play together. You wanna talk with each other while you're playing. Because that memory you said you had of the 5 hours or 7 hours you played, you'll always remember that. You'll always have that memory with you. Mm-hmm. And it's like last week's episode, where some people think that it's bad to play video games, and we talked about how when you read, it's just like playing a video game in your head. But when you're doing couch gaming, you're interacting with your friends in person, you're playing with them, talking to them, you know, and that just it's not really available anymore. It's a bummer.
I know this is gonna be like a weird spot to say this, but I just thought of like probably my most nostalgic gaming moment with Sawyer.
What is it?
Soul Calibur at your house.
Oh my gosh, that game! We've had too many memories.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Calibur. Carter, you've been on that too, right?
Yeah, with the one with the Link.
Yeah, Link.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Calibur 2. Yeah, Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever played Soul Calibur was at your house.
Same. But like, that's probably my one memory of it, and it's a great memory.
Soul Calibur is a fighting game. For those who don't know, it's just a
like I'm not really versed with that kind of gaming. Yeah, exactly. I saw a commercial years later with like Yoda in it. But Soul Calibur 2 is the one that we all have a connection with.
Like, I don't even remember the name of the girl, but I was always the girl with the 2 daggers.
Man,
there's so many. That was a good game.
The other one me and Carter were talking about the other day when we thought of the subject was Flash games in high school.
Oh yeah,
In the
Flash
computer
games.
lab.
Just going on the computer at school,
Yep.
like box head zombies or shopping cart hero.
Addictinggames.com.
Yeah. I don't know. Are Flash games going away?
I think so because Adobe Flash is actually canceling.
Oh, sad.
I
So,
really appreciate the age we lived in at the time with
Mhm.
the games.
Well, it was cool because like any little creator can create this 10-minute game that you could play and
Enjoy.
immerse
Yeah.
yourself in for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or like make a Flash game that's just simple AI that have weapons. Like I remember Thing Arena 3 was my favorite one to go to. Get the the cut-off shotguns and get akimbo them and
There's so many, man. Age of War. And we could just go on and on. Territory War.
Wait, does
so
that include a, what's it called? Box head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, box head. That's the first one I mentioned. That's the one
What's-
you
oh,
and
you
I
mentioned
played in
it.
high school,
Oh, sorry.
Sawyer.
Yeah.
On the same keyboard,
Mhm.
just going through waves of zombies.
So good.
Man, okay, that game, even though it's old, I could play that
Yeah.
today for good.
for like a good half hour. Like
Yeah.
and enjoy your whole time playing it.
Yeah. I don't think that game could ever die. Like if I had the right person with me,
Yeah.
it would work, man.
What was the one with the shopping cart that you go down the ramp and see how far you can go? Like
That's
you
another one I mentioned, Shopping Cart Hero.
oh yeah, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones.
Remember, so my dad's a teacher. For those of you that don't know, my dad's a teacher, and he's actually the computer lab teacher, basically. And when you got all your work done, he'd allow you to play this game. And this was when I was in middle school, and this was when our cousins were in high school, and he had a leaderboard to see which student could get the furthest on that game.
Shopping Cart Hero?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I think unless I'm remembering wrong, but I think I remember that being a thing. Just on his whiteboard, like he had like the top 5 scores. Because like when you're done, you had nothing else to do in his classroom. And he didn't want you to be bugging anybody else, so why not?
I hope that age doesn't die. I hope maybe it's just because it's nostalgic to us,
Mhm.
but I mean, you guys are right. Just today's gaming. We talked about the state of gaming last episode. It we'll always have that special connection to all these games we're talking about.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is, we're gonna have those nostalgic memories with the games we're playing today in the future, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, like Skyrim, easily a nostalgic game, and I'm betting Elder Scrolls 6 will be for me as well. Like, unless it flops. Like,
Maybe a couple years from now, we'll have another nostalgic game episode, and we'll talk about the games we're playing now.
Mhm.
Talk about all these games.
True.
The Series X will be a nostalgic console for you, Sawyer.
Seriously, that'd be weird. I want to bring a kid on in the future, and we can talk to them about how what their gaming's like in their life as a kid, and see the differences. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be a good idea to talk with someone who's from a totally different generation.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, when they're a kid, they're like, "Oh, remember when we'd get on the computer and play Fortnite all together and whatnot?"
Yeah.
That's so different.
I remember this kid in high school going back. So I was a golf coach. So one of my big things was golf. For those of you that don't know, in my life, and I was a assistant golf coach for my high school that I went to. And one of the kids, he brought his phone, and like taped it to the back of the seat in the Suburban that would take to the golf matches. And he had a controller that he'd plug into the phone to play Fortnite on his phone
Yeah.
with the controller. And I was just like, that's gonna be a memory for him, like other gaming was for me.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
Like that's crazy.
Like when we'd all play Pokemon together, the top stairs of a basketball game, high school basketball game. We'd sit around on our
Oh man.
sit on our DSs, play Pokemon, like trade Pokemon and stuff. Oh,
Picto chat on the DS,
There's so many games.
on the school bus.
Dude, that
Oh,
reminded
man.
me of a funny memory.
Tell it,
There
man.
So the janitor in our school, we'd go underneath the bleachers at the basketball game,
Yeah.
and the janitor in the school would get us in trouble, and like we'd always try to avoid him. And so he lifted up one side, and we were on the other side of the bleachers. And I remember because there's this like tarp that like covers it down, and I like rolled out from underneath it like a log, like you roll like that. And then my DS was in my pocket, and I remember opening it, and the screens were just cracked.
There, I remember that. That was
It
the
was like,
old school 3D. That was the old school DS.
yeah, it was the original DS, and I was just
Wow.
like, no, my parents are gonna kill me.
Ah,
All right, any other like reminiscing games you guys want to talk about?
Cooking Mama. Just kidding.
Uh,
That was fun.
hey, anyone who
Yep.
watched and you had a game that you that you heard tonight that you had a good experience with, comment it, or a game that experience you had, comment that down below. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, we'd love to see any comments that you guys have. Feel free to comment anything you like. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, whatever you're watching it on. And we'd love to see you guys in the Discord. We'll post on Twitter. We'll keep you guys updated on all our social media. So just click on the links in the description. We'll make sure to keep you guys informed of our next episodes.
All right, I think that's a wrap.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
Deuces.